meeting.
Yeah. So people will join. That's not an issue. Okay, so let's start. Thank you everyone for joining our second B2B students webinar. For before I go to the speaker, I would like to introduce B2B as well. So Vulnerability to Viability is a global partnership for transdisciplinary research on small-scale fisheries, focusing on small-scale fisheries transition from vulnerabilities to viability. So it's a project based in Canada here at University of Waterloo, and it focuses on 12 countries, 6 from Africa and 6 from Southeast Asia. So my name is Mohammad Ruel Mia. I'm a V2B student. I'm doing my PhD here at University of Waterloo. And today we have Foluke Omotayo Areola for our second webinar presentation. She has been a prolific fisheries and aquaculture professional for over 40 years, providing technical guidance in fisheries, aquaculture research and development, and strengthening institutional and partnership capacities across the fishery, aquaculture, and support sectors. Ms. Areola holds professional roles as a consultant, administrator, facilitator, mentor, and researcher. She is currently a postgraduate student at Lagos State University, Nigeria. She is well published and belongs to several professional networks, including the World Aquaculture Society, Vulnerability to Viability Global Partnership, Too Big to Ignore, GAFS, IIFET, among others. She is also passionate about local and global economic development and growth. So it's very, very nice to have you, Areola, with us today.
Thank you very much.
Over to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us this morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are upon the face of the earth. We are glad that you have honored the invitation and you are with us today. I'm going to speak on navigating experiences of studies on small-scale fisheries in the Gulf of Guinea. I am Foluke Areola, a PhD student at the Fisheries Department, Lagos State University, Nigeria. That is the outline of my presentation, why small-scale fisheries, the study area, methodology, and data sampling, and learning curve in research process. Before I go on with the presentation, we have four stages in this 1-hour presentation. After my presentation, we are going to break out into groups, and we are going to answer specific questions that I'm going to give us. And after then, we come back and have discussions before we round up the program. We try and keep to time. Now, we say, why small-scale fisheries? First of all, we need to understand what small-scale fisheries are. They are fishing households using relatively small amount of energy, small amount of capital, small vessels, making short trips, and they are for local consumption. They could be for subsistence or for commercial reasons that people go into small-scale fisheries. It could be multi-gear, it could be multi-craft, it could be multi-species. Like in Nigeria, we have is heterogeneous, so we have different forms of small-scale fisheries happening all over the world. And the small-scale fisheries plays crucial roles in food security, poverty eradication, equitable development, cultural heritage, and sustainable resource utilization. We find most of the people on the coastal areas, they depend solely on whatever is caught from the waters for their livelihood. And so it's very important. It also contributes to over half of the fish catches, employs over 90% of world fishers, and provide livelihood for 120 million people. All this data we got from different authors, especially the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations. And so they are facts that are true and that have been proven. There's no single or global definition for small-scale fisheries because it has different varied meanings to people in different parts of the world. But it includes artisanal, canoe, subsistence, traditional, indigenous, aboriginal, tribal, among several other definitions. The research work that I'm working on is on governability and institutional challenges in the Gulf of Guinea, in small-scale fisheries in the Gulf of Guinea. But because the project is still ongoing, I'm not going to go into details of what I'm really doing in such a way that anybody can copy and take away from the research. But as much as possible, give as much information as is possible to be helpful during this webinar. Now, the study area is called the Gulf of Guinea. It's a great inlet of the Atlantic Ocean on the western African coast, and it includes the Bight of Benin, the Bight of Biafra, and we have two major rivers discharging into it. That is Volta and Niger River. It has the surface area stated there with several islands, Sao Tome, Principe, all those French names. We have, can I remember all the other ones? We have Bioko, Bom Bom, Ilio, Karoko. I hope I've pronounced it correctly. They are all involved in the Gulf of Guinea. And I'm working with 6 countries in the Gulf of Guinea, and they have been highlighted in the study area. They are Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, Nigeria, and I think I have all of them. So that is where I'm working on small-scale fisheries in terms of governability, vulnerability, stressors, challenges, and so on. Now, what are the methodology that is being used for this project? We have the comprehensive mixed method approach, which involves both qualitative and quantitative approach. The quantitative approach, we are using the questionnaire. The qualitative approach, focus group discussion, interviews, informal interviews, and so on. And I'm using the purposive sampling stroke snowballing method. Because in some of the countries, I needed to go through one person to another to get the work done. I will go into details in the next slide to what has happened in the different countries to date. And the analysis of the data that has been collected will be done by the statistics and theoretical frameworks such as IADAPT, governability framework, value chain analysis, and so on. Now, the learning curve, which is the core of this presentation. What have I faced? What has happened in the course of carrying out this research? What are the things that I have faced? First of all, we start with understanding the research process. I'm a person that started out with the civil service, and for 35 years, I was used to writing administrative ways, reporting in a different way from the research process that I now had to start all over after retirement, having served for 35 years in the fisheries sector of Nigeria. So when I started the research process, first of all, going to school, I found myself amongst young people, and that was quite interesting to me, and that helped me to have a new idea about life, and it helped to make me feel young and younger, and people would see me and say, madam, you are looking younger than you were when you were working, and it was the state of mind relating with younger people. And because I went in with an MPhil, I had to do classwork, sit and listen to lectures. And after the lectures, I related with the students. We had discussion groups. We discussed questions that will come in physically and even online. And I had my son, who was always there, giving me quality time that he should have been spending with his family. We call from Ibadan and go through whatever I've been taught in the day, so that helped me, especially with the statistics course, which I needed to now brush up myself, because the last time I did research was in 1979/80 when I had my master's from the University of Ibadan. Now, I want to go through my experiences in the different countries, but before I go there, after my MPhil, I met my supervisors, fantastic people, and with my understanding that in research, you have to work on your own. You don't have to depend on anybody. I just did my questionnaire as if I was still in the civil service. And I went to the field. So one day, my senior lecturer, supervisor called me. I said, "How far with your work?" I said, "Oh, I'm already in the field." He said, "What did you say? You're already in the field?" I said, "Yes." You said we should work on that. I said, no, 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 no. It does not go like that. You have to validate your questionnaire before you can apply. So I said, he said, sit down. Don't be worried. I will explain everything to you and I will put you through the process. And that he did. And immediately he put a call through to the Department of Education in the Lagos State University and sent me to go and see two people. Actually took me there, drove in his car, and I drove in mine, and he took me there. Fortunately, as we got there, one of them was about leaving. And so the first person we saw, he just handed me over to him. So for 3 hours, the man sat down listening to me, listening to my proposal, the seminar that I already did, my plans, how I had gone to the field and all that. He listened, he did not say a word. After I finished, he now said, yes, he appreciated all that I have done, but that we were going to start all over, that we were going to use all the governor framework that I have itemized and then section the questionnaire to address each one of them. So we had series of meetings online, and we went through every line of that questionnaire, correcting tenses, changing it in such a way that analyzing the data later on became very easy for me. And I'm grateful for the intervention of my senior supervisor at that point, because if I had gone off, it would have been so difficult for me to do it the research way. Also, the second one advised me to join AutoAid, and I did a number of courses on research writing. I did examinations online just to improve and to be back to the research world from where I'm coming from in the administrative process. So starting out was easy. I started. After that, I now went to the field, and I will tell you the different experiences I've had so far with the different countries. First of all, I realized that in making the choices of the countries, I needed some criteria to use. One, language was one of them, because in the Gulf of Guinea, we have the countries speaking different languages: English, French, Portuguese. So I needed to take into consideration those three languages and to have countries represent those three languages. So English was more popular, so I chose Liberia, Ghana, and Nigeria. And for French, I chose Côte d'Ivoire and Togo. And for Portuguese, I chose Sao Tome. Good, starting out was good, still interesting. So I had contacts because of the position I have had in Nigeria. So I wrote to directors of fisheries and friends in other programs, which I will not be mentioning names here. And so one of them invited me to a meeting that I had always attended in Côte d'Ivoire. And that really helped me to start out with Côte d'Ivoire. So I went for that meeting, and he has arranged for me to meet the head of the artisanal fisheries there, to meet the director of fisheries, to meet some women, to meet the head of statistics and the officer working with him. So for the 3 days I was there, I had meetings with them. We discussed the questionnaire, and he translated the questionnaire for me at that point. And I learned so much. One thing I took away from Cote d'Ivoire is how they are mentoring their youth into the small-scale fisheries system, but I will not go beyond that. Now getting back to now complete the questionnaire itself, because it has to be completed in depth. Hello, there's a noise at the background. It has to be completed in depth. So we had series of Zoom meetings, but some will not go well because their interpreter will not be there. We will have some meetings and then later on, but I now had to employ an interpreter through auto aids to go through the documents that I got through the presidency in that country. But the woman said there were too many. She couldn't do it eventually. So in Nigeria, a senior colleague got me an interpreter that I paid, and we worked together, and we are getting good results and good case studies from Cote d'Ivoire. Now for Liberia, I met the director of fisheries too. It was quite nice. He gave me all the different communities that they have in small-scale fisheries, introduced me to an officer who was to work with me, and also introduced me to another man who was doing some projects, another project in the coastal states. We had Zoom meeting twice with another officer from that project, and that was quite useful. But eventually, the enumerators, I couldn't pay them because what they were asking were millions in my own country value, and far way beyond what I could afford. 10 million thereabout, which I couldn't afford. So I'm still doing online completion of the project there. But one thing also that has helped me was 2 years back, about 3 years back, or 2 years before I started my project, I worked on small-scale fisheries on a facility in that country that they needed private public partnership. And the man who was going to take it up employed me to go through the small-scale fisheries in that country and see whether it was going to be profitable for him to invest in it or not. And so that has given me a lot of information about Liberia before starting out. Then Ghana, I done some webinars and facilitated an organization there for their webinars prior to my project. So I reached out to him. He also introduced me to another person who was doing some work in the coastal region of Ghana, Emmanuel. And he now got me lecturers from the university that I worked with. We had series of Zoom meetings going over the questionnaire prompts and making sure that the terminology in Nigeria was changed to the terminology in Ghana, like we did in Liberia too. For the communities, the terminologies were different. And so eventually I was able to get my case studies done in Ghana. Togo, I have spoken to the director a number of times, and I have somebody I've worked with in FAO in the 80s who is now working in the ministry. But this translation French thing is still standing in the ways. And another Nigerian from Nigeria Institute of Oceanography and Marine Research who goes there and who has the project is trying hard to help me. But now that I have an in-house translator, I know that within the next 1 month I should be able to complete the work on Togo and Sao Tome. I have a friend, a woman from World Aquaculture Society who introduced me to the director, and also for another man from InfoPetch who also introduced me to the director. But it's this language thing that is still a barrier that we have not been able to really go forward well, because I don't have an interpreter in Portuguese on my own end. and it's a bit difficult also from the other end. And coming to Nigeria, what I did was there's this group of directors, coastal directors that I know are there, and one of them is now the permanent secretary that is with us today. And so I spoke to him to please use their platform to let people know I was doing this project. Then I wrote a letter then to the then permanent secretary before he became the permanent secretary that I was doing this project and Lagos State was involved. And he was the permanent secretary here and I was the director. And the present director gave me all the support because they have a good extension service in Lagos State. And because of the good extension service, they have officers in virtually all the local small-scale fisheries communities. So the ones that I chose for my project, I had of the officers, anytime I called upon them, they were ready to help me, they were ready to support me. And I have 2 papers that have been written on the 2 communities that are in print. And so the case study too has also been submitted to TBTI and Too Big to be Ignored and also V2V. To V2V, and those ones will be presented as a conference coming up in the US. So it has been a success story. In Ogun State too, I had the support of the director, and she gave me a young man, very intelligent young man that I've been working with, and I've been to Ogun State too during the course of my work. In Bayelsa, I went for another project, and through it, a deputy vice chancellor, well, I spoke to him, and it has been most useful. He gave me students who went to BRAS, the coastal place. After understanding the questionnaire, we had one-on-one, like a training session, and those students have gone to help with the project. On those states, I've not been able to go there, but I've had Zoom meetings to get the thing sorted out. And so those are I hope I've not left any country or community out. And so those were the field activities are starting out, and the field activities, the opportunities here for me was that I was able to leverage on former relationships, people in the industry, and we've been able to publish the situational analysis of small-scale fisheries in Nigeria. I was one of the people who edited it and who authored it. And we have so many projects and so many papers in the pipeline that are in the print. And through V2V, I gave the V2V monthly seminar in March 2023, which was a great opportunity. Also, through this PhD work, I've been able to go to India, all expenses paid by V2V, and stayed with the fishing communities in Chilika. It was an experience of a lifetime that I will never forget through. And so I'm grateful to V2V. But the challenges have been there too. The challenge of language, translation, the challenges of funding. But recently, V2V through the Nigeria V2V gave me some funding, which I'm also grateful to, and which I will talk about under the support system. Under the support system, the institutional support that I've had have been wonderful from the university, the Department of Fisheries itself. The lecturers have been wonderful, and my supervisors are excellent, very understanding, and it's been easy for me navigating the PhD work. My colleagues too, other PhD students, we speak regularly, we discuss, we have our own platform, our WhatsApp platform. And the V2V students that we are meeting today too, we met in India and we became a family, and that's why we are having this webinar. This is the second one in the series. And family too have supported morally, financially, and I'm grateful especially to my son, who is always there to read my papers, to go through it and get it done. And so I've had all this support that have made the journey very, very easy for me. And so I've had many papers also that have that are in print and through this PhD program. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity. And so that is the first um, leg of this webinar. And so I will go back to Ria to please tell us how many people we have online now so that we will know how many groups we can divide ourselves into. And I will want to know also the composition of the people that we have online because we are going to divide ourselves into group and go into and answer some questions that I have already prepared from the slide that I'm sharing with us and so that we can know, for instance, the group wherein we have administrators, we want to ask them how easy is it for them to support PhD students, or in what ways do they think that the research work that anyone comes to do in their location or locality will benefit them, or how would they want research work to be tailored to meet the needs of the government and the communities around them. And where we have research students, I will also want them to come up with the challenges that they have faced and the opportunities that they have had in carrying out their research. And for other people, I will want them to also speak about support systems that they have in their different areas of study. So, Ria, over to you. How many people do we have
So,
online now?
so thank you, Areola. We have 19 people so far online. So maybe we can divide into 4 or 5 groups. Thank you, Shahriar. Bye. No worries. We will see you in the next one. Thank you for joining. So we have 18 people now. Still, we can make, I think, 4 groups. So do you want me to, assign people automatically?
Yes, can you assign people, or do we want people to show their areas so that we put them together?
No, I think that's okay. Like if we have the diversified, uh,
Okay.
from
Diversified
diversified
views.
background. Yeah, so
Yes.
just to clarify, for those who have joined late, Areola has talked about her experiences, her work, her understanding of research so far. So we'll try to make some breakout groups here into 4 groups. First 3 groups will have 4 people, and the last one will have 3 people. So what basically we're discussing, Areola has a few questions already for us to talk about these things, just to have a more bit of engagement, interaction within and between us, so that it's also important professionally, academically. So we'll do that now. I'll assign people. Okay, so it's already assigned. So I'm just again letting you know who is in which room. So for room one is Harisanti, and then Hapsari, Ika, Muhammad Sulaimani. Room two, Odichi, and then Femi Olangunchu, and then Sisi Musliha. I will just assign people, so it's already
Okay.
assigned. Yeah, I'll just do that now.
Okay. Um, Group one, um, the first group, could you also go through the activities if you are a researcher or you are an administrator? Um, since we have a mixed group, should we not just allow everybody to uh, have a go at all the questions? My
Yeah,
thinking.
so can you share the questions, or maybe if you can write it in the chat box, I mean all the questions, then people who are in the different group and breakout rooms, they could able to see that, or I can at least copy and paste it to the different group.
Oh, okay, I'm trying to do that
Oh,
now.
or maybe if you share the question slide, we can take a picture each in each group, and then we can talk about that.
I didn't write them down, but I was taking the questions from the learning curve in the research process. Number one, um, what experiences and challenges have people faced in the research process if they're in research process? And then for the administrators, what expectations would they have in future about research students coming to their either to government or their communities? What are the expectations? What do they want done? And what are the takeaways that they expect? And so, and also for those who are still in research, what are the support systems that they have enjoyed? Is it more from institutions? Is it more from colleagues, or is it more from family? And what, especially, I'm interested in the opportunities and the challenges that people face while doing, while carrying out, while conducting research work.
Yeah, so it's hard to remember three questions, right? It would be great to have on screen or maybe in the chat
Okay.
box. But since you don't have it written, maybe we can ask simply two questions because we'll give the breakout room maybe for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yes. Opportunities and challenges in research work, expectations of communities and government from research institutes and researchers when they come into their communities and countries.
Okay, so
I think
just to
that's
repeat, the
simple.
first one is about opportunities and challenges. Second
Yes,
one is about expectations from academic
yes,
background, I mean perspective, government perspective, or civil society perspective. And
and
then the third
community.
one is about the supportive system.
Yes, you got it.
Great.
Those are the three.
Okay.
Yes, great.
Okay. Perfect. So I'm going to open the breakout room. So it's about 10 minutes. Now it's 8:37. We'll all come back to the main room at 8:47 my time. So 10 minutes from now.
Okay. Okay.
The rooms are open. People who see the room you are assigned, just move to that room, please.
Hello, Ria. Hello, hello, sir. Baba Ji. What's up, Adam?
Hi, Areola.
Hello. Yes.
Are you done
there?
with your group?
You didn't put me in any group.
I did not. You could have
No.
joined one. You could have joined one.
Okay, let me join a room.
Okay, so this we're up. I mean, time is up now. We have to bring everyone back to the main room. I'm just writing to them. Hi, Matthew. Sorry, I don't know if you're speaking. I don't hear you. You are on mute.
we actually we don't really sit to get the information, to interpret it in the way that they will actually get what we wanted is always the problem, it's always a challenge. Because by the time we start talking to them, we try to explain it, they might not understand. We'll still have to look for a simplest word to use so that they will get to know what we need to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, I think that's the approach that works best most of the time. So I think we are back in the group so that we can
Okay.
continue the meeting.
Sorry everyone for the interruption. I hope it was really interactive and you guys had a chance to chat with each other and discuss about the questions that Areola has posed. So I hope that you enjoyed it. So let's come back together and then from each group, if we have a volunteer from each group to speak about what you have discussed, like very briefly. We don't have much time. We have just 7 minutes of this meeting. So, can someone from each group please speak about what you have discussed?
Okay, if I may start.
Yep, sure. Go ahead. Thank you.
All right. So my name is Olagunjo Olanrewaju. I think it's showing there already.
Yeah.
So in our group, we discussed um, first what were the things that have been helpful in the PhD journey, and what are the things we've learned. So, and that was the conversation that eventually came into the group when we come in. But one take out or take home from it is the role of supervisor, which I mentioned, that if you have an experienced and helpful supervisor, it can go a very long way to help your work, and also resilience and commitment on the side of the student itself or him or herself, because sometimes you can have up to 10 ideas or 20 that you will propose, and yes, maybe all of them will be dropped, and then you will be asked to go and restart or try to think over again. So, and I was like, yes, things like that can happen, but it's you have already known 20 ways of solving a problem, or 4 ways or 5 ways of solving a problem. So even if you are not using it at that time, it can be used for something else later. And that comes in because, yes, the supervisor or the project coordinator is experienced and probably is seeing what you cannot see. So he's then able to guide you and then say, okay, maybe we can consider other approach to solving this problem. So I think that was just the core of our discussion then before she came in with challenges that we usually experience when it comes to data collection, survey among farmers and things like that.
Thank you. It was really a great discussion of the role of the supervisor and the project coordinator is really crucial when you initially start your research. Of course, we start as a student, master student, or undergrad students with someone under their supervision, and it's really important how they guide us, how they support us, and what they expect from us, where they see us in the future. So these things really helps. So I can go next from our group. So it was Yinghao, Blessing, Niloshika, and me. We were in the group. So we discussed about opportunities and challenges. So opportunities, I'll go first about the challenges. The first one is the language barrier. When you go for research, it's something that always we struggle about, because even if we do research in the same country, there are language differences, there are language barriers. So overcoming this language barrier as a researcher and understanding or making out a way to understand them, it's also an opportunity for us. It's a great skill as well to talk to the people. Maybe we don't understand 100% of what they're talking, but still we are trying to come up with an idea how to understand them. So this is one thing, and also it gives us a great opportunity to interact with the community, to the with the people, and understand their daily lives, their livelihoods, their social securities and insecurities, a lot of the things. It helps us understanding different stories, which is really nice. And then another barrier was that we talked about, it's access to data. So there are a lot of database, like government database, non-governmental database are there. So accessing data, quantitative, qualitative data about the research that we do, it's also sometimes they're accessible, but mostly they're inaccessible. And there are in some cases that we don't have the data to access to. And also other thing was the support system that we talked about. It was local support, the community support that you get from the people, which is really fascinating. The way they accept us. Initially they hesitate to talk. I mean from my own perspective, I can say initially they hesitate, and later they accept us, like in a way that we are there for, to help the communities, so they understand it. And also we get support from different organizations. So first of all, if we are a student, we get support from our institution, from our supervisor, and also we get support from funding organization like B2B, TBTI, and that Areola has also mentioned. So these things we have discussed. So next group, please. Next
Group 3.
Yeah.
Group 3. Hello?
If anyone is willing to talk like 1 or 2 minutes, very briefly, what you have discussed. It's not something that you have to cover everything.
No.
So Matthew, maybe you were talking, you were on mute, unfortunately. We can't hear you.
Unmute yourself, sir. Unmute yourself, sir. Baba G, unmute yourself. Oh, yes, you are unmuted, sir.
Thank you. It was network before.
As you want to speak, so you can speak, sir.
No, I've just joined you. The network was not cooperating.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't
So
have anything to say. Okay, you couldn't join in. Collect?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can.
Looked at the opportunities. Yes, I looked at the challenges. Were able to talk about was about the data collection, which is a very big barrier, in the field, collecting data, especially in the areas that for those of us in the policy sector, when you want to get the data when you want to work related with your agency, with what you really do, it's really difficult to get a verified database. And then also we have a problem of synergy within the related agencies. The problem of there's no synergy. So working to get information from related agencies is also a problem. Then I looked at the opportunities also, participating in a similar webinar, like this one, and then other forum where we have opportunity of relating with people of related career principles and area of interest this way. It also helps to boost our research process also, learning, developing new skills and adapting from other people also. So it's been a great opportunity to be linked onto webinars of this sort. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful.
Thank you.
So last group,
the last
please.
Group. Which group is that? Can you read out their names? We've had group 3.
I don't know. Or maybe Hafsari, I don't know. You guys were in the same group.
Okay. So in the same group, we have three members from Indonesia and another Muhammad from Tanzania. And Muhammad not in here again. So I will speak on behalf of my group 1. Okay. So we discussed about our research. And in our research, we use a mixed method. quantitative and qualitative analysis, and we use in my research, Ika research, Alisanti research, and Mohammed Sulaiman research. And these methods complement each other very well. And the second point, we agree about that in our research problem, collaboration between stakeholders is very important to overcome that problems to occur or to solve. I think that's all our discuss in group 1. Thank you for look, and you have a very interesting presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh no, what happened? Can you still see me? I don't know what I pressed.
We can see you. We can see you.
Okay. I don't know what I pressed and I lost that page. So we're on the we're on the last stage, which is rounding up. We're actually past the time, and we want to appreciate all that came from the different groups. And in rounding up, I will just summarize together all that everybody has said. That good supervision is important for any PhD work, resilience on the part of the student, because it's not an easy road. But if one is committed to something, challenges will come, and challenges are meant to be overcome so that one can move forward in the process. Data collection was mentioned by virtually all the 4 groups. Issues with data collection, understanding synergy between different organizations that are working in the same area, the community not ready to give data because I went to a community where they said they're always coming to trouble us, ask question. What are they giving us in return? And that made me to think that in carrying out our research too, we must ensure that we have the interest of the community at heart, so that we will, in any way possible, do something for them, even not. It may not be something financial. It may be our time in teaching them something, in giving back to the community, because you go to them all the time to ask questions, their hopes are raised, and eventually nothing comes out. Challenges, language barrier was mentioned, livelihood, social security, access to data, local support, and then collaboration between stakeholders. And this opportunity, especially, I would like us to, all the people here who have joined us today, we have this webinar every 2 months, every first Tuesday. Is it first Tuesday, Ruya? Or the second Tuesday? Ruya?
Sorry, what? Yep.
Is it second Tuesday of the month?
Yeah. I was just about to write in the chat box, like our third webinar will be on the second Tuesday of July. So we come after every 2 months for a second Tuesday. So this is May. So in June we don't have any event. In July we will have a third webinar. But also few days back I asked everyone for suggestion what else we could do. So thank you everyone for providing different suggestions. So we'll do some additional activities, additional events which are helpful for especially for students and early career researchers. So stay tuned. Keep your eyes on the email that I sent. And again, are you done, Areola? So if you are done, we can conclude, because we are over the time, like 6 minutes.
So I want to thank everybody that joined us. And if you have any other issues you will want to discuss further, I think my email address will be put in the chat room by Ruya now, or Ruya's email address, so we can continue with this discussion. And if you can be kind enough, kindly put your details, your email addresses and phone numbers in the chat room for us, so that we can have a documented evidence of your participation in this webinar. Thank you. We leave about 4 minutes for that to be done, for people to put their names, their institutions, their email address, and telephone in the chat room so that we can continue to still discuss this if there are other things to talk about. And we will put all this together and see if we can send it out, all the things we've learned in this webinar. Thank you so much for attending. The room is opened until about 4 minutes or 5 minutes for you to quickly put your names, your institution, your email address, and your phone numbers in the chat room. Thank you.
Thank you, Areola. So that's really nice. So we're going to write up something for B2B Commons, which is coming up tomorrow. So maybe you and I can write about it, like based on your notes that you have taken. And also I will try
Yes.
I'll try to write something, and then we'll just combine them and send it to Maha.
Yes. So we need the details of the people attended from the different organizations and countries.
Yeah, I have
Indonesia.
taken a few. I have taken
Okay.
a few screenshots as well. Like those who are unable to. I know people people may have other time commitments for
Yes.
other things. So it's okay
Since
if you
Denmark,
want to
we
leave
have
now.
somebody, Netherlands, somebody attending from Netherlands, Nigeria, Ghana, so that we just put everything together after this. Thank you all so much for joining us. We are happy that you gave us your time and you spent time with us. Thank you very much.